Great evening to you all on this dope ass 30th day of December, Thursday. Just finished running 3 miles, just shy of 3 miles. Um, Wanted to come on and talk about something that I posted up a little earlier, and at the same time, create some content for the YouTube while I'm still restricted. But yeah, man, went on a little run after I woke up from a unexpected, unplanned nap after trying to do some yoga and just passing out on the mat. But yo, check it. I wrote something earlier about breaking bad habits, and in order for any one of us to break any bad habits that we may have, the first step is acknowledging that we have a problem. Um, I was talking to my one of my brothers earlier this week, and he was kind of laughing at the fact that he's in a rehab facility. He put himself into a rehab facility, but he was kind of laughing at that. He feels or he believes that I'm kind of living a life that revolves around a 12-step program, and I'm like, what do you mean, bro? And he's like, yeah, because like everything that you do and everything that you talk about and everything that you have been suggesting me to do, it's everything that they're teaching me here at this rehabilitation program. I'm like, I told him I practice a lot of things, bro. So I was like, I wrote, you can break any habit you truly want to break only by acknowledging fully that you have a problem, and that whatever habit it is that you are entertaining is a problem, and that the manner in which you are entertaining that habit is a problem and is not conducive to anything positive that you want out of your life. Depending on the individual, the kind of being that you want to develop yourself into in the lifetime that you have. Whether you want to develop yourself spiritually or you don't care about the spiritual development, but you do want to develop yourself physically, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, and financially, right? So if you want to do any of these if you want to develop yourself to your fullest capacity as a human being in this life, one cannot allow habits to dictate what becomes of us, or we cannot allow addictions, really, right? Addictive of personality, things that are not conducive to good health, to dictate what becomes of our life. So I said, I listed three main steps. One is, do you benefit from that habit? If you do not benefit from that habit, then you must acknowledge that you do not benefit from that habit. And by acknowledging that you do not benefit from that habit, it will be brought to the forefront of your mind that this habit is not conducive to the kind of lifestyle that you want to develop in the long run. Two is it keeping you from accomplishing your fullest potential? Again, if the answer is yes, just as the first, if it is keeping you from accomplishing your fullest potential as the individual that you want to unfold into in life, then it's best to quit that habit, right? It's best to find ways to reduce the amount of times or the frequency that habit kind of hinders you by you indulging in it. And three is your misuse and abuse of it serves no purpose, even if it possesses positive potentials when done correctly. So one is, if you don't benefit from it. Two is, does it keep you from accomplishing becoming that fullest version of yourself that you envision yourself being? And three is, does it serve no purpose? Does it serve any purpose in the manner that you are using it, even if it has any positives? Food, for example, right? Food, for example, serves a purpose. It nourishes us. It gives us energy. If you are using a lot of physical a lot of physical strength, a lot of physical exertion, you're gonna need food to an extent. But when abuse produces obesity and a host of other illnesses, breathing, for example, is essential to life. We cannot live without breathing. However, improper breathing produces a lot of problems. It produces stress, anxiety, depression, physical and spiritual problems, as well as emotional and mental. And that these are two things that are essential to living in a society that, if we do them wrong, they are detrimental to our health, but when done properly, they are very, very positive, and they serve their purpose. I also wrote, a man cannot live a good life if he is not taking full accountability for himself. You're accountable for every good and wrong that happens in your life. And that is true. We are accountable, and we must take responsibility for everything that happens in our life, whether it is good or whether it is bad, whether what we do didn't serve the outcome that we wanted. We still must take accountability for the outcome that did happen. And we must, in order to actually figure out what went wrong. For me, one of my biggest problems was smoking. Always, it started with marijuana, and then when I went into the military, 5 years I didn't smoke weed or marijuana, but for those 5 years I spent it smoking and dipping a lot of tobacco, a lot of cigarettes. I didn't learn about addiction until I was in the military, when I got into an alcohol-related incident that landed me in a program, rehabilitation program, that I had to attend every morning, and there I learned about addiction. So once I learned about addiction, I was like, oh man, this substance is addicting, but thankfully I'm not addicted to it. I can quit. And so I put it in my mind that once I was done with my 5 years of military service, I was done with tobacco. However, once I left the military in 2014, I picked up smoking weed instantly. I think the same day that I got out of the military, I started smoking weed again. And I had not been able to stop until this year. You know what I'm saying? I stopped smoking because I joined the military, but there I was doing another substance, equally as detrimental to my self-discipline and to discipline in general. And once I got out, I started using another one to deal with whatever traumas I was trying to, cover up through the addictive habits that I was indulging in. I never really had a problem with alcohol, never, even though I just act very stupid, very arrogant, very prideful on alcohol. So I just, I really control how often I drink and what kind of alcohol I also allow myself to consume, because I know how I can get on alcohol. But yeah, my problem was always weed, and thank God, honestly, thank my belief in that higher power, and seeking to use that strength to my own advantage. I was able to master myself, learn that weed wasn't really serving any more purpose. And no matter how often I try to lie to myself, like, yo, I can smoke and I can still go run 3 miles, I was just lying to myself. So this has been the first year that I've been able to go sober, completely sober, off of a substance that I actually felt which I actually felt was limiting my complete growth as an individual, as a conscious being, having this experience as me. And I'm thankful and I'm fortunate, and really looking at those things, acknowledging that I wasn't benefiting from it, that I did have an addictive problem with the substance, acknowledging that it was keeping me from becoming my fullest and best self, because I lacked the discipline and self-control to actually stop doing it for a long extended period of time without making excuses for myself for using it again. And by understanding that I did misuse it and it served no purpose when I was misusing it, despite the positive potentials which it does have, because Mary Jane, when you consume it, is very healthy for the body. It destroys deadly cells in our body, and it's scientifically proven. Y'all can go research it. I'm just not gonna say any words or anything like that, because I don't want any of my videos to get labeled tagged anymore. But other than that, I just wanted to touch on that, habits, addictions, and so on and so forth. You can break any habit that you put your mind to. You just gotta identify that you have a problem. You have to take accountability, and you have to hate how it makes you feel when you don't have no control over it. One great phrase, proverb that I heard was, what I used to hate, I now love, and what I used to love, I now hate. And that was something that was spoken by Paul in the Bible, who was known as Saul. And Saul used to chase down the Christians and kill them everywhere he heard there were any. And so one day, you know, while chasing down some Christians to kill him, he looked up, was smacked in the eye by the sun, fell off his horse, was blinded for 3 days. And after those 3 days of being blind, you know, he was humbled by life, and he came out, and afterward he changed his name to Paul, and he became one of the, you know, one of the most profound apostles in the Bible, and you know, so on and so forth. So the story goes, right? And he said, what I used to love, I now hate, and what I used to hate, I now love. So you have to truly understand why it is that this thing isn't benefiting you, and hate the outcome of how you feel, because a lot of people smoke cigarettes and they hate how they feel. You know, they're anxious, they're stressed, they're depressed, they're jittery, they're shaky. They can't control themselves, and it's because the cigarettes is the number one destroyer of discipline. It's one of the main destroyers of discipline. But, you know, that's a whole other topic. If you guys want me to expand on any of the things that I talked about, you know, leave a comment below. I'm going to do my best to upload all these videos up to the YouTube as soon as I'm able to. But other than that, ain't nothing but love. I'm going to show you a little bit of something that I'm about to eat right now. I know it's late, but like I said, I just finished running. I woke up from a nap. I wasn't expecting to do all the stuff that I did, but I'm about to go in. I got a nice little shaken sandwich and a whole bunch of oatmeal in there. Yeah, that's a lot. I know. But, hey, we're still growing. Other than that, ain't nothing but love. You have a great night, family. One.